Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. And this is the Kelly Mantle Show. Won't you come inside the Kelly Mantle studio? Do you know I never know where I am, but I always end up where I'm supposed to be? Isn't that superfluous? The other day, I was on the subway with my good Judy, Anne Hathaway. We were traveling north, of course. And it dawned on me that my head was full of debris, a roller coaster of random thoughts coming in like a tsunami. And as I sat there paralyzed, I watched them unfold like origami. Some of them were new thoughts, some of them were old, and some of them were ludicrous, and some of them were bold. And I wondered, has every story already been told? Is there anything left to sell that hasn't already been sold? What's your next bold move? Are you too afraid to say, in fear that you might get caught up in the fear of getting in your own way? And I looked at Anne, and she looked away, and I vomited. Welcome to the Kelly Mantle Show. Won't you come inside the Kelly Mantle studio? Today's guest is a pop culture anthropologist, a celebrity pseudo-psychologist, serving social commentary phraseology with absolutely no apology. He's a master of popography and delivers content like it's poetry, with a streamline of colorful thoughts that will keep you wanting more and more of his TikToks. Ladies and gentlemen, pop the popcorn and settle in for some hilarious insight into the times we're living in with Blakeley, Thornton.
Wow, I have to say, that is the best introduction I've ever been given.
No way.
By far.
Oh my God.
Head and shoulders above.
Honey, you
anyone
only
else.
deserve the best.
Thank you. I was like, oh, wow. I'm
Listen,
gonna take that.
I tried my best to capture in my introduction what it is that you do. And now I want you to put it into your own words, what it is you do. The thing I love is that you say you love to interrogate the why.
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah, I just think I think I am naturally inquisitive. I think my superpower is to be naturally inquisitive about anything I've seen, combined with the fact that my mother used to make me go look up any word I did not know from the ages of 3 to 17.
Exactly. You know, in Bible school, I was always the one going, how? And they're like, we don't ask how. And I'm like, but why?
Always.
And no one ever wanted to answer my questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was an inquisitive Scorpio child, which was a nightmare for my mother. She thought I was like Black Damien from The Omen for a while there.
Black Damien.
Yeah, she
hilarious.
she took a Polaroid of me and called my father home from work at IBM, and she was like, "No, you have to come home right now."
Oh my God. I want to get into your background because it's so interesting. But for those of you who are just tuning in and you might not be familiar with Blakeley Thornton, please go follow his TikToks, his Instagram, because he takes everything that's happening in the here and now in the world, whether it be pop culture, whether it be political, and he puts this amazing twist of thoughts on it, and it's just it really is poetic. I think the muses are coming through and delivering onto you. Because it's not just your typical, like, you know, what you hear usually about commentary. It's like there's poetry going on there.
I have found it's very funny that sometimes it does just kind of flow through me in a way. Like even this morning I was talking about my friends, the girls that do Giggly Squad, Hannah and Paige. And then I was like, wait, was that entire post in iambic pentameter? Like what I did not plan to rhyme, but I think once you get used to doing it time and time again and it builds off of a single thought, it almost becomes rhythmic. Because when I'm doing a video now, there is a certain musicality to the way I feel when I'm doing it. And if something flows rhythmically, I find people connect with it no matter what, whether it's about a Janet Jackson remix or, you know, the inner democracy.
So now you get a lot of your info from people.com. Is this correct?
I
love that.
I always say people.com is a tool of the oppressor.
Right.
I have not trusted them since they told us Blake Shelton was the sexiest man alive. Because I'm like, I get it. Like, you know, what's sexy is subjective, but I think that's a pretty universal, like, milquetoast answer for all.
Right.
And I just think you can kind of tell what agenda is being pushed politically by what people.com is pushing, and again, it's usually like cold cases where a black person was the murderer, Gwen Stefani's pants.
Oh, honey.
And like...
Does Gwen Stefani think that Jesus Christ was a holla back girl? I didn't know you had to pay to pray.
You have to pay to pray the gay away, but that's a whole different thing that was outlawed until recently. It's coming back now.
It is coming back. I know.
But she's an Orange County girl through and through. I think she had us tricked for a while. You know, she's been doing this for a minute, like from the Bindis to the silent Japanese girls to like the Chola era. Right. And now fascism is in, and she's going full trad wife. And I think it's like...
I read a comment somewhere the other day that said, Gwen, you would hate Gwen. I mean, you know, it's like the old Gwen would really hate the new.
Like, what would you tell the younger you? It's like, well, what would the younger you tell the new? What would the young Gwen tell the old Gwen? And probably like to shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
I would hope
she would say, "Don't speak."
A lot of the things I think is like, would this bother Megyn Kelly? Is a lot of like,
I love that.
My standard bearer for what I make. Would this bother her? Could it make her go crazy?
Yes.
Is this gonna like make her day worse?
I love that.
And then that is my guiding light.
Any time that we can make Megyn Kelly's day worse, I say we take full advantage.
Full advantage. At all times. Hey, Megyn.
Hi.
Hey, Santa's not white, you stupid bitch. He's imaginary.
I want to get into some pop culture potpourri.
Oh, I love that.
And I want to like just chit chat about it, talk about it. Let me know your thoughts about it. Are you ready?
Ready.
Azalea Banks.
Ooh, so talented, so problematic.
Love. Lana Del Rey.
Prep school PTSD.
That sounds like an album of her.
White girls. I mean, it probably will be for her. White girl sadness. I love it. Go off, girl.
Did you just hear Azalea go off on Lana? Lana took a picture and she's laying on these pillows that look like they have pillowcases that might belong to your great grandma.
Okay.
That's just kind of Lana's aesthetic. And then Azalea retweeted it and said, "Come on now with your old granny pillowcases." I'm like, her. Azalea's always coming after Lana.
I love Azalea. I just think Azalea's in a bat cave somewhere like Bruce Wayne, just like waiting for white bitches to fuck up. she's like, who is looking weak today? And just like, it's like Batcave, just tweeting. She's the Batman of like white girl beef.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, Lord. As someone who cut their 20s in New York, I call it like national. It's the black people purge. It's stay inside. Just don't go out. It's not. I've never gone outside without seeing some white girl throwing up green at 11 a.m. Fighting
green at 11 a.m.
4 years in a row, I would be at like a bar in like the gay section of Williamsburg, and like some bro would walk in and rap Nelly in my face so aggressively. Always Nelly. And always Nelly, which like when Nelly...
Or Cisco. Remember Cisco?
Yes. When Nelly performed at the Trump inauguration, I was like, I knew this.
Shut up.
I experienced this. Yes. There's a reason it was hitting with these fucking men. So I'm just like, I don't know. I just think St. Patrick's Day in America.
Oh my God. I will never think of St. Patrick's Day the same way ever again. I fucking live. No. And I lived in Chicago for 3 years. Ooh. I did theater there. Girl, they turned that whole river green with the bridges going up. I'm like, what is happening on this here day?
Just like fucking rent wicked, order in, shelter in place, babe.
Eat a bowl of Lucky Charms.
Truly.
Little Nas X, half of his face stopped working. Did you see this?
No.
Yes.
Wait,
he
what?
He posted a video on Instagram, and the whole right side of his face isn't moving. I'm terribly worried because he's such a sweetheart.
Really?
I love him. Yes.
I mean, if this is a genuine medical concern, I'm concerned. I also don't put it beyond him for this to be like promo for the next album.
Marketing. Can I tell you that's exactly the first thing I thought when I saw it? I was like, he's in a hospital robe in a hospital room. I want to believe it because it's awful, but I feel like this is marketing for his next single.
Yeah, like whatever's. I mean, he does have, I think, new music coming out with Justin Tranter, who like makes the hits for the pop girlies. So it's like
Justin. We love Justin here on the pod, and we want you to come on the pod.
Right. So I almost feel like it's like maybe they used like a sample of The Weeknd's "I Can't Feel My Face" and like made a song.
Shut up.
Like I think that's more likely than him.
That would actually be amazing. Okay, if this is real, he does need to do a cover of "Can't Feel My Face" and use this as the gimmick.
If this is real, like whatever the queer version of "Thoughts and Prayers" is, like please speedy recovery, cock and cash. I don't know,
That's really good.
But if it's not, make that song.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
And just like a rap beat.
But I love it. But I love it.
Right?
I can't feel my face when
we're doing
I'm
the bridge.
with you. But I love it. Okay. Did you get paid to leave a good review for Mid-Century Modern?
No, I just loved it.
Did you really like it?
I liked it. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because I generally don't like multicam, and I genuinely usually don't like the laugh track of everything. But seeing a queer story contextualized not through trauma, and also seeing like having platonic love and friendship be normalized, or we're dating, but like we're the love of each other's lives, and like having that be seen as standard issue or a viable option that you don't have to fight to was just so heartwarming for me. Like all the hokiness that I usually hate in those, and also it's rated R. Like I watched the first 5 minutes. I was like, and he's like, "You sound like a reluctant bottom." I was like, "I'm in.
I'm in.
You had me at reluctant bottom."
Now, listen, right now, any type of queer representation in the media, especially on a television show, on a cable and stuff, absolutely 100,000% here for it. The thing that upsets me is that, and I've done so many guest star roles on TV shows, like Mike and Molly, for instance. We shoot that in front of a live studio audience. And I remember on day one, I got the script and I was like, my gosh, these are some really funny jokes and these are really pushing the line. I love this. I'd never seen the show. I was like, this is amazing. I love this. You get new scripts every day up until Friday on shoot day. And from Monday to Friday, the script got so washed out that by Friday I was like, oh God, this isn't funny anymore. They took out all the funny jokes. I just hate that, I mean, because I know Coco Peru was a guest star on the pilot for Mid-Century Modern, and they had to take her part out or whatever.
Entirely?
Because one of the lines they said was too controversial or something. And I'm just like, it probably wasn't.
Well, it is Disney.
I know, but I'm like,
Disney,
honey, what world are we living in? Everyone has TikTok now.
Also true. They should do a TikTok behind the scenes of like the jokes that got cut.
They should.
That would be interesting.
They should. Come on, Max. Give us some behind the scenes.
Like the meat locker. Like it's all from like...
Give us what's on the cutting room floor. What do you think of Era 1 being infested with cockroaches?
Love it. Love that for all the moms.
I think they're going to end up in Hailey Bieber's
smoothies. I don't think... Does Hailey still have a smoothie?
I don't know. Is it no longer available?
I didn't know if it was limited edition.
Oh, it could have been only Christmas time.
I mean...
Valentine.
All food places eventually have some kind of infestation of vermin. That is the nature of fresh produce. I just think when you're charging
$20,
when you're I do. If you baby look up Chipotle, look up Sweet Green, you will find a cockroach somewhere.
No.
Yeah.
We're probably eating like cockroach legs.
There's a certain amount that they allow in all the food.
In
food processing plants. It's never completely clean. There's like a FAA reasonable amount. But I think Erwan's hilarious as a concept.
So this is my favorite fact that I learned about you.
Okay.
You were a college football player.
Yes.
That is amazing. What position did you play?
I was a fullback. It's kind of an extinct position now. Now teams tend to use 2 tight ends because they want like 2 Travis Kelce's.
That's what she said.
2 Travis Kelce's that can both kind of like catch the ball. But I was the person that kind of threw my body in front of whatever was trying to tackle the running back. A lot of concussions, basically. A lot of full head-on-head collisions, which is another way to describe homosexual sex. But like, yes.
Wow. I mean, and I would not put you in that position.
Nor would I. I was also 260 pounds at that time. So like I was much bigger.
Well, that makes a little bit more
and
sense.
Brawnier at the time. I was, but it was because I was a competitive tennis player I saw Venus Williams play in the 1997 U.S. Open. And I was like, I want to do what that bitch does.
I love it.
She's got beads. She's being mean to white girls. I love it. You can get paid to make white women cry. Give me that.
Oh my God.
So I played competitive tennis for a while. And then in the U.S., a lot of the kids that get top scholarships are going to these tennis schools. So my parents had me visit the tennis schools when I was about a sophomore in high school. And that was around the time when Maria Sharapova was like 12 and like all these high school age children were like worshiping a Russian child. And I was like, oh, you're all broken. And the best outcome is what? I like go to Stanford and like hate everything. Like, no, thank you.
Right.
So being a little
teen sociopath, I was like, oh, there's a better chance that I can get into an Ivy League school or like Stanford playing football. So I'm like black and fast and these kids are slow. So I switched to football my junior year of high school. And
I love that is your turn to. You know, I can't get into I don't want to do that. So I'll just turn to football. Like it's some super easy thing to do.
I literally was like, Elle was like, what? Like it's hard? And it wasn't. And it wasn't. I got into Penn, Harvard, all those places to play football. It was
so you played all 4 years.
All 4 years
with a majority of the same guys here.
Yes, correct.
And they didn't have any clue at all. Like
I'm imagining they did. Mm-hmm. I wasn't very good at some of the things. Like we had a what's it called? A lifting coach named Coach Steele, Steele, and he would like give you the secret workout. Like if Coach Steele challenged you in a true act of like toxic masculinity, you had to say yes no matter what it was. Right. So he'd be like, you want to do a secret workout? And everybody would always say yes. But like you'd walk in and you'd see people that were finishing this workout that were like convulsing or throwing up or like hyperventilating. And he was like, Blakeley. I was like, no, thank you.
Wow.
No, thank you. Or when we do max lift day, which when you see how much weight you can lift, everybody would like scream and bark and like listen to like Trick Daddy. And I was just like, I need complete silence. I was like, because if you talk, I will giggle and I will crush my own neck.
Right.
So everybody be quiet. So like some of them would call me like the diva. So I feel like everybody like knew, and I had sex with a total of like 1.25 girls in 4 years, and I was very handsome.
I can only imagine what the 0.25 looked
so
like.
So that sad, like tears, like my tears over a toilet in West Philadelphia.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I love what you talk about the toxic masculinity that goes on especially in the locker room. My daddy was my high school football coach, or our high school football coach, not mine. And my brother is now a basketball coach. My uncle was Mickey Mantle. I come from a family full of athletes. Mm-hmm. And so I was basically a little girl growing up, and Dad knew that. He loved it, didn't care. And I spent a lot of time, though, in locker rooms when I was much younger, waiting to go home with him after the football game on a Friday night. And I remember sitting there, and you describe it in such a way that is so poetic, because I felt the same way. I was looking around, feeling, obviously, born male and a little boy sitting there, but feeling like a girl, and looking around and going, there's some disconnect here with their emotions.
Oh, 100%.
And that's why they're doing this is to fulfill these.
I feel like so much of sports is
void of emotion.
So much of sports is just men's excuse to like touch each other platonically. I feel like if men could like lock eye contact and like touch hands without being called homos, like we wouldn't have as many wars.
Well, you know what's funny about that? Exactly. And I saw an interview recently with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, and they both said when women get old, they look into each other. Mm-hmm. They're like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? What can I do? And Jane Fonda said, men look out like this when they talk to each other.
Oh, yeah.
They don't look at each other. But women are like, how have you been? What can I do to help you? But isn't that wild?
Well, like my dad and his brother, who are like 70 and 82, they like express love through like insults. And I was just, one day it was like Thanksgiving. They hadn't seen each other in a year. Like, I was like, could you guys just look at each other and say like, I love you without being like homo or stupid? Mm-hmm. And like, they just like couldn't do it. Yeah. They just couldn't like hold eye contact and be earnest with each other. Cause they love each other so much, but I think that's indicative of so many.
Yeah. So we are here to play Save a Celebrity. Okay. I don't know who either one of these people are. Elmo or Big Bird?
Elmo has to die.
Okay.
Big Bird's taller.
Are these real people? They look very peculiar. These are puppets?
Yeah.
Elmo or Big Bird?
From Sesame Street?
Are you an Elmo and Big Bird fan?
From Sesame Street?
I don't know these people.
I can't tell if you're joking.
No, I'm not joking at all. I thought it was
did you never watch Sesame Street?
Mascot.
Like Jim Henson?
No. What? I didn't watch cartoons.
Oscar the Grouch? Huh? Grover? Bert and Ernie?
I watched Little House on the Prairie and Carol Burnett show.
Sesame Street's been on since like the 60s.
Well, I'm not that old.
I know, but through everyone, it's still on now.
How? Oh,
Jim Henson, like the Muppets.
I saw the Miss Piggy.
Yes, they're of that same genre, except more child friendly.
Oh. Why
Like, you know, like the Muppets were like the more adult one, where like Twiggy and like Elton John would come on. This is more like learning to read. This is
so
like
Elmo's on Sesame Street.
both are.
Both are.
Both are.
Well,
That's the street on which they live.
Are they still
Sesame.
alive?
I mean, in theory, you know, yes, we'll say that. If PBS dies, then no. But for now.
Oh no, they're on PBS. I love PBS.
You really? Is this a joke? Are we joking right now?
No, I've never heard of these people before in my life. I assumed they were football mascots. Are they not? And this big bird one looks like a football mascot.
I mean, they do.
For the Carolina Seahawks.
Sesame Street is possibly the most famous children's program of all time.
I was never a child.
Oh, that makes sense.
Overhead lighting or Caitlyn Jenner. Neither one are transgender friendly.
No, I'm doing this for everybody, okay? I am an activist and I'm going to kill.
Now, you are actually friends with Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
Amazing. And so what is the last text exchange you all had? Can you share it?
I texted him drunk from Coachella. Saying that I had just
Gaga's everything.
I had just asked him. I said, being almost 40 at Coachella is ... something. That was the text.
That was the text. How did he respond?
He said, that sounds interesting. I don't think I've ever been, nor will I ever go, but it seems crazy.
It's crazy. Now, how did you all meet? Did you?
I used to make fun of his pants on Instagram.
Okay.
I find it's just like I know a lot of the stylists through having worked at Ralph Lauren and in fashion, and he used to have the most like immaculate like Bodie shirts and great work pants, but then have like an iPhone charger in the thigh, and I was like, Ilaria works too hard for you to walk outside with this fuckery. Like, do you need to get a bag? Get a bag. And
I need a fanny pack.
Like I can show you. Like, get up. Here's a tote. Here's a Bottega bag. Figure it out. And he was like, "You're really funny." And I was like, "Thanks." And then we were DMing, and it became an actual. And then
that is hilarious. So he saw you saying that he needed a bag, and then he DM'd you and said,
I tag
really funny.
Anybody I talk about, I tag, because I believe the whole thing with the internet is I feel like anything you say about someone, you should be able to say to their face, or say it as if they are going to see this and know that it should either be a potent criticism of something that's crazy or like I support you.
Right.
So I'm like, if I'm going to talk shit on your pants or whatever, then you should know that.
And so what do you think of Perez Hilton? What are your thoughts on Perez Hilton?
I mean, he came through at such a seminal time. I can't judge him because it's like, I think gays that don't like themselves spit the most fire venom at people. And I think with the paparazzi culture of that time, I think Perez Hilton, if you're talking about the early aughts, was someone that probably wasn't, the first boy picked at the Abbey. And I think some of that energy went into how he treated Jennifer Aniston or Bruce Willis's and Demi Moore's children.
Wow.
It's in a very virulent way. I don't think we had the language for being abusive towards women, especially as gay people or queer people towards women, until like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was just like, oh, he's being cunty, but it's like, that's a child.
Yeah.
Or
I remember Willem and I got kicked out of his birthday party years ago at the Viper Room. Because Willem and I were screaming obscenities at him. I don't even know why we were invited.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And the Jonas Brothers were performing. I love that you call the Jonas Brothers a yacht rock band now. Like
they are.
They are full on daddy yacht
they
rock.
They are.
I
always just like outfits, mustaches, got like 3.5 kids, their wives or ex-wives, just doing whatever.
I love
They've
it.
gone from, because there should be a Disney cruise with the Jonas Brothers because, baby, that's Disney Yacht Rock. Disney made that. Camp Yacht Rock.
Camp Yacht
Rock, the sequel.
So going back to Ryan Reynolds, what are your thoughts on the whole Blake Lively drama?
I don't know if I want to talk about that on the podcast so much, but
Understandable.
I'm obviously
I thought I'd throw it out there. I wasn't sure.
I'm just like I don't want to traumatize them any more than they've already been traumatized. Needless to say, if you want to use this, fuck that man. Fuck Justin Baldoni and the horse he rode in on. And if you want to use that, you can use it. But that's all I'll say about that.
There we go. Right here on the Kelly Mantle Show, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it first. Okay, and I love your love of lesbians.
Yes.
Because I am half lesbian. And my favorite phrase of yours is a Silver Lake lesbian aesthetic.
Yes.
In reference to Billie Eilish.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
And you know, you have to like see it to know it. It's Kristen Stewart and her fiance. It's, it's Billie Eilish.
It's pretty much me on a Sunday.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's farmer's market and a Subaru.
Yes. Unwashed hair, sunglasses.
A pit bull.
A pit bull. Mm-hmm. A rescued pit bull. Honey.
Always rescued.
Always rescued.
Always.
Vegan. You got it, honey. I love that shit. I used to go to these underground private lesbian parties in Silver Lake, and it was like a speakeasy, and you needed a password to get in. And it was like all these A-listers. It was like Jodie Foster and Lily and her wife Jane and Melissa and Katie, Amy Ray from the Indigo Girls, Ellen and Portia. It was amazing.
Where was this?
This was in Silver Lake.
Of course.
Yes,
see, that's where the vibe.
Here.
You can feel the vibe.
Oh yes, honey. It was definitely the Silver Lake lesbian aesthetic, baby.
I love that.
I loved it.
We're living in a simulation.
We really are.
We're living in an episode of Black Mirror. You and I are in Black Mirror season 7, episode 9 right now.
Oh my gosh. How's it going to end?
I mean, we're going to die, but that was always going to happen. It's just a matter of with a bang or a whimper,
No.
The apocalypse is kind of lit right now. If you've seen The Warriors, I kind of am waiting for that phase where it just becomes like people wearing spiked vests and like street fighting. Like, I'm ready for the beat it phase of the apocalypse.
I love that. I am too.
Right?
Like love is a battlefield.
Let's get to it. If we are not breakdance fighting like Pat fucking Benatar and Michael Jackson.
Yes, wearing scraps of anything we found, making it fashion,
I'm
honey.
so tired of
bringing fashion to
TikToks.
the front line.
Let's do it. If you can't have a hard 8 count and murder someone, you can't be in my gang. Gang,
or on the floor.
Get it.
I love it.
Death drops will have a completely different meaning.
Girl. The dips, honey. We will be dipping on the Big Dipper in outer space with Gayle King and Katy Perry.
Truly. Can we talk about that, though? Can we talk about who are Katy Perry's gays?
Who are Katie's gays?
Who are Katie's gays?
I don't think she keeps them around 24/7 is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think Katie has the gays around only from 9 to 5. That's the difference between Katie and Gaga. Gaga has her gays around 24/7. Katie only has them on the clock from 9 to 5. When she's in the crystal-light dreaming hours, thinking up shenanigans, her gays are not on the clock.
To say, baby, that was
where
a
it
nightmare.
goes wrong.
To say, ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
No.
We're not doing that. Because even last year, she did that Charlie XYZ rebrand, which wasn't working, throwing pizza in Ibiza, then like working with, and like when Wendy's is owning you on Twitter, babe, someone needs to be like, babe, she needs a gay to just be like, babe.
Basically, everything she does is a Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial.
Right? With the flower?
Yes.
She solved racism.
Speaking of Gaga, I love that you call her the the white Beyonce.
Yes.
The white Beyonce. Her Coachella performance.
I love some of these. They don't make them like they used to.
Girl, that is going to, in my opinion, next to Blonde Ambition and next to Renaissance or the first one, that's going to go down as the third most amazing live performance ever. It's so good.
She puts so much thought in what she does, and she's a pop star that studies being a pop star. Like, I was watching on a live stream, and I'm like, oh, you have thought of the live stream angle. You've thought of the set list. You've thought of, if you're looking at up close, you're seeing me in this. When she was in that, like, death trap with the dancers with skeleton masks.
Yeah.
I was like, and then when she was getting up and like grinding, I was like, no one does it like this.
No, and the visual imagery of her on the crutches doing paparazzi,
right?
It reminded you of those days.
The 2010 VMAs when she was held for blood and the meat dress of it all.
And then she went through all the physical ailments, you know, and everything that she battled and everything. So,
I also just like to call seminal like white women the white something else, just to like invert that. Like when people call like Viola Davis the black Meryl Streep, I always call Meryl Streep the white Viola Davis.
Thank you.
And I just think like I want to go and teach children that. Like I want a bunch of like Brentwood children to go home and be like, that's the white Viola Davis, and their parents to be like, what? Because I feel like we always say she's the gay this, she's the trans this, they're the black this. No, we're the thing. Like white is not the standard, and I think that's
Thank you. Oh my gosh,
Come
I
on.
love that. I love that so much.
And that's why I call her the white Beyonce, because some people get it and some people are like, let's not have them competing. I'm like, don't be so fucking obtuse.
Well,
like,
no,
read a
exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we're all in agreement that it's Viola Davis and it's Meryl Streep.
Right?
Let's just say that.
Those are the two.
But if you are going to make a comparison, I love that because it's always said the other way around.
Always. So I'm just like, and I think if you find it jarring, stop and ask yourself, why do I find that jarring? My parents used to basically hook up a television to a camcorder and have it so I could see myself in the television and just play Janet Jackson albums to like when they didn't want to watch me. So I should have known that I was enthralled with I should have known that I'd be doing this for a living for a long time. It was the analog version of it, but they would give me like the Control, Rhythm Nation, and the Janet album. And like the fact that when I was like 7, I knew all the words to Throb is, I mean, nothing can make you gay, but damn.
And then remember when she got all sexified and that, what was the name of that album?
Janet.
Yes.
Janet. And then she did Throb on SNL. And I was like singing along. My dad was like, wait, what? Because you could, that was back when you had booklets. You could just read the lyrics.
And that's around the same time. That's around the same time I think that Prince came out with I Want Your Kiss. The Kiss song. Oh my God.
It was,
so sexual. Everything was so sexual.
Very sexual at that time.
I loved that. I loved that.
I would say very erotic.
Madonna's sex book. I mean, come on.
Oh, like, all that.
Justify My Love.
The
Everything
Human
was
Nature
so
music
sexy.
video. I have little like queer capsules of like watching the Human Nature video, and there was a really gorgeous like muscular Asian male dancer with a mask on, wearing like a leather shirt, and him like trying to stretch through. It was like a tic-tac-toe of hot bondage dancers. And like, I didn't know what it was because I was, 9, but I was like, that is in my, it was in my spank bank forever.
That's going in the filing cabinet.
In the
honey.
filing cabinet.
Morse code, honey. My tipping and tapping and tapping and tipping and tapping for that one, honey.
That polaried into me forever.
Let's bring sexual back. George Michael, Freedom Video, Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista. And then I Want Your Sex. Remember he had that song? Everything was so sexual. I want that back. Tell me about this relationship you have with Gwyneth Althea
Paltrow. I just think she's my favorite white woman.
Really?
She's a white woman that stays in her lane.
That's interesting.
She's not trying to be
She's a lot of people's least favorite white woman.
But it's because she's not trying to be relatable. Everybody wants this like relatable bullshit from their celebrities, and Gwyneth Paltrow is Blythe Danner's daughter and Bruce Paltrow's daughter, and went to Spence and dated Brad Pitt and Ben Affleck and won Best Oscar when she was 24. Her life isn't my life. That's not her life. What do you want her to do? Drive a Honda Civic?
And do you have
go to Gelson's?
I feel like I've seen her.
Do you want to see Gwyneth Paltrow at Gelson's?
Actually, I do.
I don't.
I kind of do.
Baby, no.
Come on.
No, make that goop salad. A goop roast chicken has solved so many arguments in my friend group. I'm telling we cuss each other out about what to order. Goop kitchen roast chicken, okay? But go off. I say go off, Miss Paltrow. Go off.
Go off.
If you have one fan, it is me, and I will
Paltrow.
never lose a half a day of skiing because of you.
Honey, that trial... They were going to turn that into a musical.
They
and
should.
I think Trixie's supposed to be in it, isn't she?
Is she going to be Gwyneth?
I don't know. I hope so. Actually, I want to play the attorney.
I love that.
I live for that. She's secretly obsessed with Gwyneth. She's all like, I'm supposed to be like defending these people, but I'm secretly obsessed with
He's
you.
like, so when my fame-hungry client came behind you so rudely, and they're like, bitch, I'm paying you. What is she doing? She's like, so after he's in prison, I'm coming to Montecito.
Girl.
Like, she is in a Mon-quality spa in the basement of her Montecito home, as she should. As she should.
That is some Oprah living, honey.
Exactly. Unapologetically.
I love that. Goop.
I love it.
Left me
Goop.
gooped on your love for Goop. Julia Fox.
Smart like a fox.
Yeah.
That is the best possible outcome to get in, get out, get a book, and then just, be in Charlie XCX videos.
I hate red carpets, and I live for her red carpets.
She's not dressing for the male gaze. I think, again, she lives to piss men and Megyn Kelly off. Like, I think when she dresses, she's like, what would piss Megyn Kelly off today? And she does that.
She showed up to one with her wig just like windblown thing. And she's like, well, I just didn't care. And I hate Hollywood. And she's like, so I just wanted to look windblown, like I just came here.
I love it.
Like,
When she had that whole outfit of like Velveeta cheese boxes, I was like, that's
couture, in my opinion.
Totally.
Like, go off.
Doechii.
Ooh. Really smart, really talented, excited to see what's next.
Yes. I'm always excited for any. Did you see her Tiny Desk concert?
I did. I love Tiny Desk.
I do too. I love that you talk about this. X cycle.
Oh, yes.
X cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You take your ex's clothes and you recycle them.
Yes. So I found that like me and just authentically, me and Sam Miro have the same agent, and we were both working with Tinder in different capacities, and she does like upcycling of clothing. And I had like heard about it, and I'm like, no, usually I'm like not a big like, oh, like let me support somebody's corporate campaign. I was like, this is amazing.
Right.
I have boyfriends where I have their sweatshirt or their jeans or they fit me, but like I don't want to see this again.
Right.
And I don't want to see it in I wanted to see it in a different way. So I feel like it's the perfect combination of pragmatic and petty. Where it's like I can now wear this blazer or whatever on a date with a new man.
Exactly. And you're gonna say it looks so much better on him.
And I took the piece of me. I took the piece of you that looks better on me, and you can always kind of like see it. And that I shredded your shit.
And you know what I think they should do? It would probably cost a pretty penny, but they should use Lauryn Hill's X Factor as their.
Well, Tinder, you heard it here, Melissa.
Come on, Lauren.
Melissa
Let them use
CMO of
X Factor.
Tinder.
That's literally one of my favorite songs in the whole
Release
world.
the Kraken, and by that I mean the cash.
Are you a Drag Race fan?
I am. I'm watching this season. I am an Anya Nerve fan.
Yes, from day one.
That is what I want.
And last but not least, the most important question that I have for you from all of your TikToks and videos that you've done, what do you have against bangs?
Ooh, okay. Well, I just think often for women, it's like he's not just not into, it's like the movie it's like the movie he's just not that into you. You are the rule, not the exception. So for most female foreheads, you're gonna look stupid. Like just like if he wanted to, he would. And if your hair wanted to, it would. It would have formed on your head that way. And it didn't, bitch. So don't do it. Put the scissors down. We're dealing with enough right now with fascism, racism, your ability to vote. Do you want to like have your ID not be able to vote and look stupid too? You want that three horsemen of the apocalypse? You could at least die with good hair.
I feel attacked.
But yours look great. But you're the exception.
That's amazing. I just got Read the House Down, honey, by Blakeley Thornton. You're amazing. I love you. You are absolutely.
This was really fun.
Oh, good.
This was really
Thank
fun.
you
I
so
thoroughly
much for
enjoyed
coming
it.
by.
Yes.
And you're in the TV show that I know already aired, but offshoot.
Yes.
Amazing performance in that.
Thank you.
Playing Jackson's partner, Jackson, Mississippi, created by our very own John Mark.
Yes.
On Out TV.
Which we would also like a season 2 of.
Thank you.
You know?
Are we going to get a season 2? We'll see. Do you have any more acting work lined up?
I have a couple of things. There is a sitcom I'm attached to that I don't know if I can mention the name of it yet.
Okay.
And I'm doing a podcast with Justin Sylvester called Yestergaze.
Oh, I love
about queer moments that happened before internet culture. So you can see us, talking about Diana Ross tapping Little Kim's boob for probably an hour. Soon.
I love that.
And
where can they find you?
They can find me at Blakeley Thornton on TikTok, Instagram, and if my agent has anything to do with it, soon on YouTube.
So go follow Blakeley Thornton on all of his socials. Hilarious, prolific commentary. And please join our Patreon. If you want to see more footage, Blakeley and I are going to play Save a Celebrity and do a little more behind the scenes. So go join our Patreon at patreon.com/Kelly Mantle, and we'll see you over there. We love you. Until next time, good night.